Ever found yourself scrolling through your phone late at night, and before you know it, you stop scrolling and buy a gadget you don't need? It happens to all of us, and it happens most often on the giant platforms where we spend a big chunk of our day, places like Instagram, or tucked right inside the endless video feeds of TikTok. It is easy to blame a lack of self-control, but that is not really what is happening. Our brains are incredibly busy. To save energy, they rely on 7 specific shortcuts to make fast decisions. Today, we are going to look closely at how digital marketers use these 7 rules to sell us products. But more importantly, we will see how you can use these exact same principles to communicate better and get a yes in your own daily life. Let's start with the first rule, the rule of giving back. It is the idea that when someone gives us something, we feel an uncomfortable urge to return the favor, to clear our social debt. Marketers use this when they offer you a free digital guide in exchange for your email address. In your everyday life, you can use the same idea by buying a coffee for a coworker. When you eventually ask them for help on a tough project, they will be much more open to pitching in. The second rule is scarcity. As humans, we place a high value on things that are rare, or things that look like they are about to run out. Online, you see this as a clock ticking down to 0 on a sale. Off-screen, if you need someone's attention right now, you might tell them you only have 10 minutes to talk. Creating a strict boundary makes them listen faster. The third rule is authority. When we are unsure about a decision, we look around for someone who seems to know what they are doing, and we automatically follow their lead. That is why ads put actors in white lab coats to sell you toothpaste. In your life, you do not need a lab coat. Simply dressing neatly and speaking with clear confidence sends a signal that you are someone worth trusting. These first 3 rules work by pushing us into a decision. They lean on our natural anxieties about owing favors, missing out on deals, or not knowing the right answer. The fourth rule is staying consistent. We strongly prefer our current actions to match our past behavior. Once we make a small choice, we tend to stick to it. A brand will first ask you to like a post, then to follow their page. Once you have made those small commitments, taking the final step to buy their product feels completely natural. You can use this slowly escalating approach too. If you need a huge favor from a roommate, ask for a tiny one first. Ask them to pass you a sponge before you ask them to help wash all the dishes. Rule number 5 is liking. We are much more willing to agree with people we are genuinely fond of. Marketers hire smiling, friendly influencers who give you compliments through the screen. In person, you can build that same warmth by finding common interests and offering genuine praise to make someone happy to help you. Instead of pushing, these 2 rules gently pull us toward a yes. They use our own positive feelings and previous choices to guide our next move. The 6th rule is the power of the crowd. We are deeply social creatures who look at the larger group to figure out what we should be doing and change direction to match them. A product page showing 10,000 5-star reviews makes you feel safe buying it. If you want a friend to join a volunteer project, mention that 3 other people have already agreed to help. Seeing others do it first clears away their doubts. The 7th rule is unity. We give special, automatic preference to people who share our specific identity, beliefs, or background. Brands build exclusive communities to make you feel like you belong to a family. You can tap into this by finding a shared connection with a total stranger. Bonding over growing up in the same hometown can turn a cold request into an easy yes. Staying close to our tribe kept early humans safe. Today, that deep biological urge to belong remains one of the strongest shortcuts to agreement. The next time you are staring at your phone, you will probably notice these invisible rules working in almost every ad you see. But psychologist Robert Cialdini, who first organized these rules, offered one final piece of advice for getting a yes in daily life. Always provide a reason. Simply adding the word because to your request triggers an automatic response in the human brain. We are conditioned to hear that specific word as a signal that a request is valid. In one study, people were much more likely to let a stranger cut his line at a printer simply because they said, "because I have to make copies," even though everyone in that line was there for the exact same reason. Knowing how our brains take these shortcuts is a superpower. It helps you resist digital manipulation when you need to save your money, and it helps you build stronger, more effective relationships when you put your phone down.